Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's ZPro here bringing you another Minecraft WW1 vehicle tutorial. In this tutorial we'll be going ahead and building the Schneider CA-1. The Schneider CA-1, originally named the Schneider CA, was the first French tank developed during the First World War. The Schneider was inspired by the need to overcome the stalemate of trench warfare, which on the Western Front prevailed during most of the Great War. It was designed specifically to open passages for the infantry through barbed wire and then to surpass German machine gun nests. After a first concept by Jacques Queneck, devised in November 1914, the type was developed from May 1915 onward by engineer Eugene Brelet, paralleling the British development of tanks the same year. Colonel Jean-Baptiste Eugene Estaing in December 1915 began to urge the formation of French armored units, leading to an order in February 1916 for 400 Schneider CA tanks, which were manufactured by Somila, a subsidiary of Schneider located in the suburb of Paris between September 1916 and August 1918. Like most tanks, the Schneider was built like a simple armored box with compartmentalism of the inner space. It lacked a turret with the main armament a short 75mm cannon and a sponson to the right side. By late standards, it would therefore have been an assault gun instead of a tank. The vehicle was considered a very imperfect design because of poor layout, insufficient firepower, a cramped interior, and inferior mobility due to an overhanging nose section, which had been designed to crush through the belts of barbed wire, but in practice caused the tank to get stuck. Improved designs were almost immediately initiated, but the production of the Schneider CA-2, CA-3, and CA-4 were eventually cancelled. The tank was used widely in combat during the last war years, and other than that, they really were not really impactful. So yeah, the Schneider tank here, very interesting tank. Honestly, I hate this tank. I think it looks absolutely ugly, but since it is the first French tank basically ever made, I thought it would be a amazing tutorial to do to kind of throw back to that. And especially since we just did the Saint-Chamond, I thought that this would be a great kind of a company build for it to add to your trench kind of warfare type maps. But yeah, overall pretty cool design, pretty happy with it, and should be a fun build to add in with the Saint-Chamond. So let's go ahead and kind of dive in and take a look here at this design. So I did have a design for this a while back. I don't think a tutorial for it, but there was a design for it. This was a completely new design that's been completely revamped. Obviously with the front here, which was designed to actually cut through barbed wire. As we work our way back, we have the 75mm short gun, which I mentioned earlier, mounted to the side here in that sponson. We then have a viewports here, machine guns mounted on the sides, the track system here, and basically the back here where they have the hatches to, enter and exit the vehicle. And over here on this side, nothing too crazy here, just a machine gun on the side there. Also some unditching logs were typically hung from the sides of the tank. But yeah, pretty interesting design. Again, a very funky tank, and that's kind of the theme here with World War I tanks. World War II, we start to see kind of the typical tank and, very similar designs across all the nations, but this right here is, World War I was a different time, that's for sure. Anyways, let's go and move into the tutorial by beginning with our first layer. Alright guys, going ahead and moving into our first layers, we'll be going ahead and start with layers 0 and 1. One quick thing I want to mention before we go ahead and dive into this vehicle is that very much so like the Saint-Chamond tutorial, we'll be going ahead and building this in a completely solid green color, basically the green and dark oak wood scheme, and then we're going to be going ahead and at the end adding the camouflage on as an add-on to the vehicle. So if you're wondering why we're not doing the camouflage, that's the reason why. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started here. Now the first thing we want to do here is we're going to be going ahead and placing down 2 dark oak wood stairs, which are going to be back to back to each other like this to go ahead and create our right front wheel. We're going to go ahead and place down a nether brick upstairs stair coming off that toward the front there, and then underneath these stairs here we're going to place down 2 nether brick blocks in the ground. From this point here, we then want to go ahead and place down a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 blocks across the top here. We're going to go ahead and drop down to this level here, and we're going to place down a row of grindstones here on the bottom of those blocks. We can then delete these blocks here, and we have our grindstones here on the bottom. We're going to then take our nether brick blocks, and we're going to place down nether brick blocks underneath those grindstones like this to go ahead and create the track there in the ground. With that done, we're going to then place down a nether brick upside down stair here. Stair coming off like so, and then we want to go and place down a nether brick upside down stair coming off that dark oak wood stair, and nether brick blocks underneath these stairs, like so. With that done, we then want to go and go to the side here of the grindstones. We're going to place down item frames, And we're going to then place down green terracotta blocks in those item frames like so. And if you're able to, we're going to place down dark oak wood signs on the sides of those grindstones as well, all the way along the side. And that right there is going to basically do it for our track design there. When that's done, we're going to then go to this nether brick stair up here in the direction you want the front of it. So the front of our tank is going to be up here. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3 dark oak wood top slabs across, 1, 2, 3 dark oak wood trapdoors, and then 1 trapdoor coming off the center one like that. We're going to then go to the side here, and we're going to go and repeat the same design we did for the tracks just over here to this side. So I'm going to go and do this a little bit faster, as I've already kind of covered in detail how to do the air side. If you need to, just look at the air side, or just kind of, slow the video down, follow along, do whatever you need to do, but basically it's the same thing we did on the air side for the tracks, just over here to this side. So just like this, and we're going to then take our green terracotta, place down a row across the top here, and we're going to drop down here, take our grindstones and place down a row of grindstones. So just like that. And once that's all done there, we're going to then take our blocks, delete those, take our item frames, place them along the side here, and in those item frames we're going to place down green terracotta. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and our dark oak wood signs. So just like this all the way along the side here, and we'll have both track systems complete for the vehicle. Once we have that done, we're going to take our dark oak wood top slabs, we're going to place down rows of 3 dark oak wood top slabs, filling in the space here for the bottom of the tank. And that's going to go all the way back here, and it's going to stick out, or it's actually going to go ahead and stop here at these nether brick stairs like so. And we want to go ahead and then place down a dark oak wood top slab coming off both sides there like so. And in the center here, we're going to take a dark oak wood fence gate and place down a dark oak wood fence gate in the center, opened up toward this slab like so. And with that all complete there, that is going to wrap up what we have there for layer number 1. Here is a overview of what it looks like. And with that, we'll go ahead and move into our next layer, layer number 2. Alright guys, moving into our next layer, we have layer number 2. For layer 2, to go ahead and get started here, we're going to go to the front. We're going to place down a row of 3 of green terracotta across these dark oak wood trapdoors. Then to the side here, we're going to place down a dark oak wood top slab to both sides of a dark oak wood sign on the side of that top slab. Once we have that done, we're going to take our green terracotta, we're going to place down a green terracotta block here in the center, followed by a dark oak wood upside down stair coming off these 2 slabs here, and then a dark oak corner stair here in the corners like so. And we're going to go then place down 1 dark oak wood stair coming off that green terracotta block there for the front. With that all done, we're going to then place down a nether brick stair on top of these stairs here to both sides. We're going to go and go back from that with 2 dark oak wood stairs like so on both sides. After that's done, we're going to then place down a stone brick wall to both sides here. And we're going to then place down a nether brick, or a row of 2 of nether brick top slabs back. Same thing over here. And on the side of this top slab here, we're going to place down a dark oak wood sign, and it's going to be on the first one, only like so. We then want to take our anvil, we're going to place down a anvil here, and then another stone brick wall directly after that. Same thing over here on this side, anvil and a stone brick wall. We're going to go ahead and then take our dark oak wood stairs, we're going to place down 2 dark oak wood stairs back to back. On top of those blocks there, an nether brick stair coming off those stairs like that, again to both sides there. And then we're going to take our green terracotta and basically just fill the space in between these blocks like this, going all the way back. And it's going to end in between these nether brick stairs like so. Once we have that done, we're going to then place down a mossy cobblestone wall coming off these 2 blocks here on top of those slabs, and we want to go and then place down a dark oak wood upside down stair coming off those mossy cobblestone walls like that, going back. We then also want to place down a dark oak wood trapdoor coming off these 2 nether brick stairs like so. And the last thing we're going to do is go ahead and grab ourselves a chain, and we're going to place down a chain here between those stairs just like that. And lastly, that's actually it. I thought there was one more thing, but no, we are good to go. So that right there is going to complete this layer. If you do want to add on the spruce wood top slabs to the side here for the unditching log, you can do that. And very simply, we're just going to go and go to this nether brick top slab, place down spruce wood top slab to the side, and then go back 1, 2, 3, and 4 back, so you have a row of 5, and we can do the same thing over here as well. So adds a nice little detail to the tank. Again, not completely necessary, but I do kind of recommend it, as it kind of, gets rid of that boxiness on the sides. Anyways, that right there is going to do it there for layer number 2. With that, let's move into layer number 3. Alright guys, moving into our next layer, we have layer number 3. For layer 3, to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to be going ahead and placing down a polished blackstone stair on top of the green terracotta block, and then a polished blackstone slab to both sides of that stair. We then want to grab ourselves a mossy cobblestone wall, and we're going to place down one wall on top of this stair, like that, in the front. Once we have that all complete there, we want to go and then place down a row of 3 of green terracotta across behind those blackstone slabs and stairs. Over here to the left side, we're going to place down a dark oak wood stair, and then in that corner space right there, we're going to place down a zombie head here at a slight angle, like that, going back. Once we have that done there, we then want to go ahead and go to the other side, and we're going to take our green carpet, and we're just going to place down 2 green carpets on top of those 2 stairs going back like so. After that, on the right side, and the right side only, we're going to place down 2 dark oak wood stairs like that, or sorry, dark oak wood trapdoors, and then a dark oak wood stair facing this direction with a trapdoor on the side of it like so. We then want to go and go back from that trapdoor with a black concrete block, so like that, and then we're going to place down our dark oak wood trapdoor there to the side. Once we have that done, we're going to go and grab our green terracotta. We're going to place down a row of 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Then on the sides here, we want to go and grab ourselves some dark oak wood buttons, and we're going to place down dark oak wood button here and one right here also. Taking our green terracotta, we're going to place down a row of 5 across, followed by a second row of 5, a third row, and actually this third row is actually going to be a row of 3, and then that's going to be a green shulker box coming off these blocks here to both sides. Also coming off that shulker box, we're going to place down a zombie head and then an end rod coming off it to the side. Same thing over here, just like that, to both sides there for the machine guns. And with that all done, we also want to go and place down a dark oak wood button, which is going to be on this green terracotta block here on the right side. Anyways, after that's done, we're going to then take our green terracotta. We're going to do a row of 5 across, followed by a dark oak wood button on both sides. If you are doing the spruce wood slabs here, we do want to place down a lever on top of the spruce wood top slab, and also this one back here on the rear there. After that, we're going to take our green terracotta. We're going to do another row of 5 across. And then when we get to this section right here, we want to go ahead and grab our spruce wood, or our stripped spruce wood, and we're going to go ahead and place down a row of 3 across the middle here. We're going to place down a green terracotta block to both ends like so, and we want to go ahead and actually push this spruce wood back one. So it's actually going to be at this row right here, so it should look like this here on the back. Now once we have that done, we're going to place down a lever on this stripped spruce wood piece right here, and we want to go and then place down a spruce wood trapdoor coming off the 2 stripped spruce wood ones like that to both sides. After that's done, on the back here, we want to go and then place down a green carpet on top of these 2 stairs, and we're going to go and then grab ourselves dark oak wood buttons, and we're going to place down a row of 1, 2, 3 of dark oak wood buttons across the back here. Now once we get to this point, we want to go and then grab our nether brick. We're going to place down a nether brick wall on top of this trapdoor here. And actually we could use blackstone walls for this, so polished blackstone would be better, so we're going to go and use that instead. And we can also take our dark oak wood trapdoors, and we can place down a row of 1 and 2 on top of those walls here, 1 and 2 on top of those stairs, just like that. And with that all complete there, that is going to finish off what we have there for layer number 3 for the build. And with that, let's go ahead and move into our next layer, layer number 4. Alright guys, moving into our next layer, we have layer 4. One thing I want to add for the previous layer is we're going to be going ahead and going to this green terracotta block right here and replace this block right behind the stair with a green shulker box. So just go ahead and make that simple change there, pretty easy. We then want to go ahead and take our green terracotta, we're going to place down 2 blocks here, and then come off those blocks, we're going to place down 2 item frames with black concrete in those item frames. We're going to take dark oak wood signs and place them down across the front there of those blocks like so. After that's done, coming off the side here, we're going to go ahead and place down a dark oak wood top slab, and then a dark oak wood trapdoor. And we're going to leave that as is for right now. We're going to then take our green terracotta, we're going to place down a row of 4 across, followed by a second row of 4, and then a third row of 4 like that going across. We're going to then take our dark oak wood buttons and place down a row of 3 across the side there. Over here on the opposite side, we're going to place down a black concrete block on top of this one, right here. Dark oak wood trapdoor on the side, a dark oak wood upside down stair on top of this stair here, and a dark oak wood trapdoor come off the side of that or the side of that stair like so. We're going to go then grab ourselves a polished blackstone slab and also a skeleton skull. We're going to place down a polished black stone slab, a wither skeleton skull, and then a dark oak sign on the side there for the short-barreled 75mm gun. Going ahead, continuing on, we're going to take our green terracotta, we're going to place down a row of 5 that goes across like so. And over here on the right side, we're going to place down a dark oak wood button. And again, that's only on the right side. We then want to place down a dark oak wood upside down stair to both sides, a black concrete block behind those stairs, and then a green terracotta block there in the center. We're going to take our green terracotta, place down a row of 5 across, followed by a second row of 5. And then we want to go ahead and grab ourselves our dark oak wood buttons, and we're going to go and just place down a row on this side. We're going to place down one like this, and one also on this side as well. Now on the back here, we're going to take our stripped spruce wood, we're going to place down a row of 1, 2, 3 across, and our spruce wood trapdoors here, lever, and have that flick downwards. We then want to take our green terracotta, we're going to place down 1 and 2 back, 1 and 2, and we're going to take our dark oak buttons and place down 1, 2 along the side here, and 1 and 2 along the side. Once we have that all done there, we want to go and then place down a polished blackstone wall coming off this green terracotta block over here to the left side. And once we have that all done there, that is going to wrap up what we have there for layer number 4 for the build. And with that, we're going to move into layers 5 and 6. Alright guys, going ahead and move into layers 5 through 6. For these final layers here, we're going to start off by placing down 2 spruce wood trapdoors on top of these 2 green terracotta blocks. We're going to go ahead and place down 2 mossy cobblestone walls on top of the slab and this dark oak wood trapdoor. We're going to go ahead and place down item frames there on the side there of those walls, and then snowballs in those item frames like that. Once we have that done, we're going to place down a dark oak wood stair here, and then we're going to go ahead and place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 green terracotta blocks back, and then a dark oak wood stair there on the very end. Once we get to this point, we're going to go ahead and then grab ourselves zombie heads and then end rods. We're going to go ahead and place down a end rod coming off this green terracotta block, a zombie head right here, end rod to the side, zombie head, end rod, and then we're going to place down another zombie head with an end rod going toward the inside there. And we're going to then take our green carpet, and we're just going to place down a green carpet on top of this black concrete block. We're going to then place down a dark oak wood button here, and then 1, 2, 3 back, and then a green carpet on top of this block here, and then a dark oak wood button on top of that green terracotta block. Now over here on the right side, there is no, there basically isn't any of the end rods there. So all we're going to do for this is place down 2 green carpets over this section here, and then we're going to place down a dark oak button here, green carpet on top of that black concrete block, and also a green carpet on top of the stair. And then we're going to go back to this section here and place down 1, 2, 3 dark oak buttons back, button here, green carpet, and we want to go and then take our buttons. We're going to place down a button right here, and we'll place a button right here like so. And that right there will pretty much complete my design here for the Schneider. Actually, a few last things here. Getting a little ahead of myself. We want to go and place down a zombie head also on top of this green terracotta block, and then 2 levers flick toward each other on top of these 2 green terracotta blocks here. And on the very back, a polished black stone wall on top of that one from the previous layer, and then a flower pot on top like that for the exhaust. And with that, that is now going to complete my design here for the Schneider CA-1. We're going to now move into doing the camouflage, which is a optional add-on, so if you do want to add it, cool. If not, then no worries, you have your design here for the tank. With that, let's go ahead and move into the camouflage. Alright guys, so real quick before we move into the camouflage, I want to make one quick change to the design here. So we're going to use daylight detectors. Actually, we're going to place down daylight detectors here along the side of the stair, and basically along the green terracotta blocks. And we're going to just basically replace any of the carpet or the buttons that we have there, and we're going to get this on the side here. We're going to do the same thing over here, except we're going to leave the end rods, and we're going to go and do that on both sides there. And that creates more of a accurate kind of sloped roof that the Schneider did have. So please go ahead and do that on both sides there, and that will kind of fix the design a little bit and make it a little bit more accurate compared to what we had previously. Anyways, let's go ahead and now move into the camouflage. Alright guys, so going ahead and moving into the camouflage here. Now the camouflage for this tank is pretty simple, and if you built the same enchantment, it's basically the same thing. I'm not going to show you guys exactly how to do it all entirely because it's something that is pretty self-explanatory, but I just want to show you guys the general idea for it. So we're going to be going ahead and mixing some smooth sandstone and some warp stairs with blue concrete to make our blue color. So we're going to have basically a 3-tone camouflage. One thing I recommend doing is trying to keep 50% green and then keeping 25% blue and 25% tan. That seems to be about the kind of color ratio of these tanks, at least from what I was able to pick up on. But what we want to do here is we want to go ahead and start off by picking a spot and basically building. So we're going to start with this smooth sandstone section, or smooth sandstone. We're going to kind of put a little bit in the corner here. Now make sure whenever you break a block or anything like that has a sign or an item frame on it or something like that, you go ahead and replace it. So since we have sandstone here, we're going to replace this with a birchwood sign. We can go ahead and also replace the blocks behind this with smooth sandstone as well to kind of, you know, keep that camouflage color consistency, and we'll just have it kind of flow up to this point right here. And you don't have to like do like stripes that go all the way across it. You can kind of just do blotches, and that seems to be kind of how it was. We'll go over here on this side and we'll do something similar. So we're going to place down a warped upside down stair here, one up like this, maybe a blue concrete block that goes in here, and just like that. So get a little bit of blue going in right there. We'll go ahead and switch back to our smooth sandstone, and we'll place some in this section like so. And we can have it kind of come up and connect up to our spine there of the tank. And again, remember, we deleted those buttons, so we want to go ahead and replace those. Very important, because if you forget to add those back, you're going to lose out on some of that detail. And we'll have a strip of blue here that kind of goes right next to it, and we can use warped buttons here in those, for those buttons there like that. You're going to do the same thing going back here. So just like this. And I mean, at this point, you guys kind of get what we're trying to go for here. So it's nothing too crazy here. We're just kind of placing these blocks again, trying to keep that ratio I talked about earlier, though it isn't super important if it's exactly that. Just kind of build it, see what looks good. If it looks good, and then, you know, that's pretty much what you're wanting to go for here. And then we can also have it kind of come back into these bits back here, kind of like that. And also we can replace this trapdoor here on top of the stair, and then our walls here and all that stuff. So basically you kind of get the general idea. If you have trapdoors that you want to switch to blue, so for example if you want to put some blue in right here, we'll go ahead and, you know, use the warp trapdoors, which aren't the greatest because they do have that opening, so you may want to avoid that, maybe use sandstone instead. But we can also have it come down here into the tracks and affect these, so we can go ahead and switch these item frames out for blue concrete in them, and then we can go ahead and place down birchwood signs over them as they're the closest shade to the blue. And we can also have it affect the wheels here, so have some kind of multicolored wheels, and then a little bit of smooth sandstone that comes up like so. And I mean, you guys get the general idea. That's pretty much all we're doing here. You just want to kind of randomize it, make it kind of look unique and all that stuff, and create a cool camouflage for this vehicle. Anyways, that right there is going to complete my tutorial here for the Schneider CA-1 tank. Hopefully you guys do enjoy this design and are able to put it to good use. If you do use this build, I do ask that you guys give me proper credit for it. This can be anything from the side of the build, link to my channel, or this video if this does bring you social media sites. As long as you guys give me proper credit for the build, you're free to use it for projects you guys are working on. Overall, enjoy the build, have fun with it, and all that fun stuff. But other than that, thank you guys again so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been your 204, and I'll see you guys next time.